Hello, Improver. Justin Winstead, the Improver Coach, coming to you. I hope you're doing fantastic and that this video helps you to be doing a little bit better. I've got a phrase that I want to talk to you about today that I think this phrase, if you end up implementing the practice and principle behind it, this can be so helpful for your growth and improvement over the long haul, personally and professionally. Hey, wouldn't it be cool if you had a phrase, if you had an idea, if you had a principle that you could immediately begin implementing and it have that kind of effect? Well, that's what these next few minutes are going to be about. So here is the phrase that I want to talk to you about today. It's no BS. No BS. You're going, no BS. What is he talking about? What I think he's talking about? Yeah, I'm going to spare you the expletive, but yes, certainly it's no bull. Yeah, no bull is what the phrase is. But it also has another meaning as well. And both of these things are going to apply to the practice that I want to encourage you to implement. And so the other meaning is no BS is no bull, but it's also no blind spots. No BS is no blind spots. What do I mean by that? We all have blind spots. We have areas of our lives that we are not privy to. We don't realize how we're coming across other people. We don't realize some of the tendencies and the nuances of the way that we interact. And these blind spots are costing us opportunities. These blind spots are causing people to pass us over for our product or service, and we don't even know why they're saying no. We don't know the blind spots are there, but they see it. In fact, many times, everybody else sees your blind spot except you. You're the only one that's not aware of it. And if you want to grow as a leader, self-awareness has to be top priority. You've got to do what you can to create more awareness. If you can create more awareness, then you can learn these things about yourself. And as you know more about yourself, you are in a better position to lead yourself. And when you lead yourself well, you can gain influence, you can gain leverage, and you can lead others even better. So how do you implement this? Of course, part of it is just being aware that you have blind spots, but I want to teach you how to actually use this phrase in a very relevant way. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to maybe your supervisor or mentor that you have, or maybe if you're in some type of a mastermind group, or some people refer to accountability partners, or maybe you've just got some friends in business or in life that you know will be honest with you and that you know care about you and want to see you win. What you do is you go to them and say, hey, I've learned this new phrase and it's no BS, and I want you to start using it with me when you notice a blind spot. And I'm going to know that if you come to me and say, hey, I want to have a no BS conversation, you know that person's about to shoot straight with you, no bull, but you also know that they're about to point out a blind spot. And you know, sometimes when people call us out on our junk, when people highlight a thing that we're not doing well that we weren't even aware of, our tendency is to get defensive. Our tendency is to let that cause us pain. But it's kind of like being punched in the gut sometimes. It's like, man, I thought I was doing good and you just launched this criticism against me. It felt like a gut punch. Well, you know what? If you give somebody permission to punch you in the gut and you know they're about to and you brace yourself, it doesn't feel good, but at least you're able to withstand that comment a little bit better, that constructive criticism. And that's what no BS talks will allow you to do. If you give your friend, your mentor, your supervisor, your mastermind group, your accountability partner the permission to say, hey, if you see something going on in my life that's not what it should be, you know my goals, you know my hopes and ambitions, you know the type of character that I want to have, you know the type of business that I want to run. If I'm accidentally and ignorantly doing something that's not in line with that, call me out on it. And the easy way to call me out is to say, hey man, I got a no BS comment. I need to have a no BS conversation. And as soon as you brace yourself for that, that person should tell you directly what it is that you're doing. What is the blind spot? And this is such a kind act to do if someone is willing to give you feedback. Feedback is gold for the aspiring leader. You want to grow in life, you want to grow in business, you want to grow in leadership, start gathering feedback. Start creating a more of a 360 view of who you are and how you interact and how you communicate. Most of us, and look, I'm going to admit this, I'm there many times as well, I am ignorant about what it is like to be on the other side of me. I think I'm saying one thing, coming across a certain way, communicating a certain topic with clarity. Meanwhile, the person on the other end is getting a completely different vibe, a completely different understanding. And that's on me. It's because I'm not communicating well. And it doesn't always matter what I say, it matters what people are hearing. And if they're hearing something wrong, it's probably because I'm saying it wrong, I'm communicating wrong. But maybe it's not just the words I do, maybe it's the mannerisms, it's a tick. Maybe I accidentally pick my nose in a certain situation and I don't even know I'm doing it. It's just a nervous habit or tendency. Wouldn't it be kind if somebody says, hey man, do you realize every time this happens, you start tickling at your nose? Like, that's kind of unprofessional. That's kind of gross. Like, you need to stop doing that. If I don't know I'm doing that, I'm so appreciative of it. In fact, since we're talking about hygiene, if I'm having lunch with you and I've got spinach in my teeth, I don't really eat spinach that much, but I got something in my teeth, it is not rude for you to say, hey bro, you got something right there in the tooth. That is a nice, compassionate, friendly, kind thing to do. And in the same way, if you're working with someone and you're on a team together and you're trying to win and you notice that every other word on their phone call with that client is it's not unkind for you to say, hey, every time you have a conversation with the prospect, you start umming a lot. And I think that's creating confusion or distrust, and it's not good communication. So I'm gonna start holding you accountable on that. And so really this no BS ideas, no blind spots. You're aware of these potential blind spots, of your natural tendencies. And when you become aware of those, you can start taking action to make sure that these blind spots don't cause destruction. And isn't that what happens when you're driving? You've got a blind spot right in the lane to the side of you. Having a blind spot is not a bad thing. Ignoring the blind spot and merging whenever there's a car over there is a bad thing. So being aware that there's a blind spot and just checking it every now and then, especially before you make certain changes or communicate certain things, knowing that blind spot can be so valuable. So here's your challenge. Become more aware of your blind spots, in part by going to some people and saying, have no BS talks with me. Come and let me know what my blind spots are. Give me feedback, send me a text, give me a phone call, fill out the survey, shoot me an email. Let me know the areas where I can grow. Let me know how I can be better. If you're listening to this video and you've already gotten this far, you are an improver. You're somebody who wants to be better. And one of the best ways to be better is to gather feedback about how you are really coming across, how you're communicating, how you perform, how you act, how you engage. Gather feedback on that personally and professionally, and then begin to make changes based on that feedback. Get your ego out of the way, humble yourself, receive this information, and become a better you. I hope this has been helpful to you. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, engage with us here. And until we get on the next video, I hope you stay good and keep getting better. Take care, Improver.